status on all of this. See what's going on. Bear with us, folks. We are making sure that everything's running here real quick. Go live. We're live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook.
Woo woo! Yes, honey.
I think we're live.
Yes. Ready to have some fun.
On Rumble.
Have some fun.
Have some good conversation.
Great
good
conversation.
smoke. Excellent drinks.
We are. Welcome everybody from Tales from the Lounge. What are you smoking? And I'm Ron.
I'm Rhonda.
Go ahead.
Oh, is this
No. I got you, boo.
Oh,
I got
okay.
you,
I
boo.
didn't know who it was
Yeah,
supposed
and our
to be.
special guest today is Junior Soul Train, aka AJ, is in the house with us.
Awesome. And you're
How y'all
probably
doing?
wondering, where the hell are you guys? Where'd you find these chairs? And this doesn't look like anywhere that you broadcast from, and it's not.
It's not.
We are actually at Good Cigar here in Little Elm, and Al, the owner, thank you very much, Al,
Yes.
has agreed to let us sit up here and do the show from here tonight. I want to try and change things up, try to do things from different locations, and kind of keep you guys running around and trying to figure out what we're doing. Because I really don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm making this shit up as I go. So with that, let's kick into our intro, and then we will come back and we'll start grilling AJ for every bit of knowledge he has.
Uh-oh.
All right, welcome everybody, and let's start out with what are we smoking? We are smoking Licencia 146 Conchegra, or how do you say it?
I don't know.
I can't.
I don't know. I know I picked it. I like it. And,
Coseca.
it's-
Coseca. Yeah.
What are you saying, Conseca?
and this was the first stick I started smoking from this line.
Okay.
And after I had this one, I knew I had to try the rest of them.
And if y'all's already lit, I'm lighting mine.
No, I'm
No,
not lit
mine-
yet.
Or I am if I have my lighter.
So why am I going to like this smoke? This is my first time smoking. I'm always with the green label. I mean, that's
Well, it's smooth.
okay.
It's got a creamy taste to it.
Okay.
No spice behind it. So
Okay.
it's not peppery, not spicy. To me, it isn't. But everybody's palate is a little different too. So I don't get that. I get a smooth cocoa, walnut. I'm not a big fan of spice a lot. Pepper, not so much.
Okay.
But I don't get that with this one. And which is what kept me smoking this one, which made me want to smoke the rest of the line. So usually if I don't get this one, I'll get the Alma Forte, the green label.
Okay.
That's another fantastic one too.
That's an excellent cigar.
That's an excellent cigar. And
Yes.
I can say that this whole line is really good. So I haven't had a bad stick.
Well, Placencia has been making cigars for over 100 years.
Well, I guess that's why they're so good.
Yeah.
And part of the deal is they make cigars for everybody else, and then not too long ago, relatively, they decided to start doing their own cigars because they had all the master blenders and all the tobacco they wanted, and they could start making some quality stuff.
And your first hit off this
Mm-hmm.
is so smooth. It's not harsh.
And I'll be done sharing everything out here in just a minute.
No, I'm loving this already.
Mm-hmm.
I can put this in the rotation.
Absolutely, right? See?
Well, and the cool
It's-
thing about
it's an
Placencia,
exclusive.
they have not only some great
And you,
great
well,
products and lines. They've got some interesting Vitolas. They've got one that's actually hexagon pressed,
Yes.
and it's
I love that.
awesome.
It's real good,
and they're
yeah.
decently priced. You don't have
Right.
to worry about spending, breaking the bank on them and that type of thing.
So normally, sometimes when you get a stick, when you first take that first puff, it's kind of harsh,
Yeah.
and then after you smoke it a couple more hits, it kind of mellows out. This one, you can just take that first puff and then boom, it's like
actually
this.
smooth, yes.
It's so smooth.
It is actually burning pretty good, which is one thing I like. I learned from another brand owner that, like, I want to keep lighting this
Yeah.
just because it's not burning right here.
Mhm.
But I was told that if it's a well-crafted cigar, it'll self-correct itself. And so I am.
Thank you very, very much. sir.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, that's something that I learned from you last week.
It was, wasn't it?
Yes, I learned
'cause
that
we
from
talked
you.
about
Yeah, we
it.
talked about that, and that's something that I learned from you last week. Because
Oh, you're
I
right,
find
right.
myself sometimes like relighting it,
Yes.
just because I want to get that part that's
And
not,
make it even?
Yeah, make it
Yeah,
even because
yeah.
it's canoeing. Like
Yeah.
I find myself doing that.
Yeah.
But then when I was smoking my stick, when it was doing that, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it just do its thing, and it did. It evened itself
Evened
out.
itself out,
I was
yes.
like, damn, that is interesting.
I would have never known that if I hadn't been taught that.
See, but this is what's so great about the cigar world and going to different lounges and just talking to people, because you learn something new every time you go and sit
Right or
down
wrong.
and talk to somebody. Well, yeah, right or wrong, but you learn something, and then you take it back and you're talking about it, and then someone says, well, no, this is really how you want to do it, and then you learn a different. Now you learn something else.
Yeah. That's, I guess that's the beauty of cigars, is that you're always learning something. And I mean, I've been smoking cigars for 15, 20 years now,
Okay,
and I feel like a newbie.
because you're always learning something. I
I'm
know it's
always learning something.
right, and I get that because I've only been smoking for 8 years, and I consider myself still a newbie, but I'm always learning something new too.
Yeah.
So I can understand, even though you've been smoking so long, well, 20 years is not very that long,
Yeah.
but I feel you on that. I feel like I'm a newbie too, even though I know what I'm doing, but I'm still learning something new.
Still learning.
I'm still learning.
I think that's the beauty of it, is
It
that
is.
you
It's
continue to learn, continue to see, like I'm trying to learn how, we got all this tobacco, right?
Yeah.
Coming from all these regions. The regions haven't changed,
No,
right?
Well, no, I'm not sure that's a correct statement.
Really?
Yeah, because I think-
Nicaragua, has it grown as a country? I mean, I guess it got bigger in size.
No, I'm sorry. The regions that are growing tobacco has changed.
Okay, I'll take that. Okay.
Okay, that's what I was
Okay, I'll
thinking you
take
meant.
that, yes.
why you got baby in the corner? Why you got baby in the corner?
What?
You look good. Yeah, it's-
Okay.
don't start that with Ron. You got him all messed up.
I don't
He
know.
done
He's
forgot
trying to
it.
put baby in the corner all the time. You know, you can't put baby in the corner. No.
Well, you should
that's
have
sad.
had Tennessee.
No, our
Guests are always in the
guests
seat.
are always in the middle, baby. And we
Center
got a
seat.
special guest here, so you gonna stay in the middle.
And look, I don't know if anybody can see that.
Hey,
Right?
you're
Look.
more in the frame than I am.
Well, you don't need to be in the frame anyway, honey.
Oh, is that so? You're taking over my show? Is that
Yeah,
is
look,
that
hey,
your
hey,
take my show?
I mean, your show is nothing without me. I'm just playing. It is everything.
My cigar has corrected itself.
Right. See, mine is too.
Instantly, it just
Instantly.
corrected itself.
Well, and somebody told me another little trick is, especially if the burn is you're starting to canoe a little bit,
Yeah.
you can take some quick puffs, and that will ignite the wrapper around
Yeah.
the rest
Yeah,
of the deal as well.
Which is going back to what you were saying earlier. A well-crafted cigar
Mhm.
will self-correct
Yes.
itself.
Well, and we see that with so many different lines.
Mhm.
I mean, Principal, Toro, Crux,
Bandolero.
Bandolero.
An Atabay. Woo, honey.
Oh, yeah.
That's an
I
understatement
mean,
there.
and you watch them; they'll start to canoe a little bit, and self-correct, and you look, you get this far down on the darn thing, and it's just almost as straight as an arrow, you know.
That's crazy. I would have never thought that. I think if I didn't learn the knowledge, I would probably been still doing the same thing, like
Right,
because
right.
it's down.
But see, I would have too, and that's what I had been doing
Right.
until you said something about it last week.
But I have this knowledge, I can't hold
I
it to
rob-
myself. I
That's
gotta
right.
pass that
I shine.
on. You
That's
know?
right. You have to pass that on.
I have to pass it on.
You have to pass, and that's the wonderful thing about being in cigar lounges and just smoking and just talking to different people because they're willing to share the knowledge. They're not selfish about it. They're not, oh well, I'm not going to tell you because you might know more than me. No, people in the cigar lounge want to share the knowledge. And
Well,
not
you know,
only that,
and I've always said the easiest icebreaker in a cigar lounge is just to simply ask, "What do you smoke?"
That's it.
Because you will find out real quick who the personable people are and who the dickweeds are. Because the personable people will say, "Oh man, I'm smoking a blah blah blah," and they will tell you everything they know about it. And if somebody says, "Yeah, I'm just smoking a so and so," and then don't say anything else, you know, well, I say dickweeds. They're not wanting to be interrupted at that time. You may find later that they're more talkative, but at that time they're just trying to enjoy the cigar and have a little quiet time. And I can respect that.
I'm more attracted to those people because I want to sit right next to you.
right.
I'll be here waiting for you. I understand what's going on.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
When you want to talk.
Check this out. Look.
Yes.
Yes, honey. Yes.
You know, one of the other things I don't know if we talked about was I was told, and I have yet to do this, is to light just half of the cigar when you first open.
Really? Did they say why to light the first half? What's the
I
meaning?
probably
reason?
would butcher that if I could tell, but
Is it not to test the quality of the stick?
yes, I believe it may be.
Now, if I were going to rate a cigar or test the cigar for any reason, I might do that. But if I'm just going to enjoy it, I'm not going to bother doing that.
There's so many different things that you can do in enjoying a cigar, which is probably amazing in itself.
Oh,
so
yeah.
trying those methods and things, and it might not work for this cigar. Maybe it might work for Lancero or or something of that nature, or maybe you need to do it on a Churchill and just try some of these things. But that's the beauty of the journey is that you can continue to try different things and still get the same experience.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to try that.
I'm still trying it.
I'm definitely going to try that.
I've also learned that, when you're talking to people that do have knowledge of cigars, some cigars, like I'm with a V cut right there. And obviously most people, they don't know there's straight cut, there's V cut, there's punch, there's also crown. Have you done the crown?
I have done the crown.
And so, but I've also known that there's some cigars that it's better if you do a straight cut because you can take in more of the flavors of it.
Yes, and I'm learning that as well. But for some reason, like I have been stuck on this V cut for so long that I need to like wean myself off of that.
Well, and I've mentioned on a couple of occasions. Generally, I like a V cut on a larger ring gauge because it opens it up more. But if I'm going to do a smaller ring gauge, I do a straight cut simply because there's so little cap there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that if I do a V cut, I'm going to cut the whole cap off and have it unravel on me.
And I've had that happen before.
Oh yeah.
So definitely had that
probably
happen.
about the first 6 months that I smoked cigars, I just was winging it, man. I went in and bought a cigar and bought a cutter and I was cutting. And I would cut, this much off and cut the whole cap off and it would just unravel on me. I didn't know what I was doing. And I ruined so many cigars, but I was having fun doing it.
You was having fun and you were learning and you were still a newbie at the time. You didn't know, hell I didn't know either.
Yeah. Nobody really knows.
Nobody really knows. But what I quickly learned about myself smoking is I knew I did not want a flavored cigar.
How are you doing, Craig? How are you doing? We've also got Rob Reel on, and we've also got Shannon Fields on.
Hi, Shannon. Hi,
Shannon,
Ron.
that's my coworker, Shannon.
Oh.
That's why I was just sending the link out to
Good
you.
to see you.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Shannon and Jay, y'all doing good.
Hey, thank you for joining
Soul
our
Train
show.
look good on film.
Trust me, I'll hear about it in the morning.
You'll hear about it
guarantee
tomorrow.
you.
And you just give him a bunch of shit, too. Just give him shit, girl. Just give him shit.
Jeff Colvin, is that another one?
That's
yours?
Jeff.
Yeah.
That's the beard.
That's the beard.
That's who was on the
in fact,
podcast last night.
That's First Friday.
That's First Friday. Yeah. Don't mention First Friday
We're
with
not
Jeff
gonna,
right
we're
now.
not going
Jeff,
to mention First Friday. Jeff, I'm still apologizing for First Friday. Jeff.
we don't talk
So-
about
We don't
First
talk, we
Friday.
don't talk
Listen,
about First Friday.
Listen, you're no better, no worse than anybody else that was there at First Friday.
Well,
as long as long as you were having fun, as that's all that matters.
He did have a good time.
What goes on at First Friday stays at First Friday. That's
right.
all it is.
That's right, Jeff. But
We don't
I'm
do lines from
apologizing
there.
again, Jeff. I think every time I see you, I'm apologizing.
Rob, we are at Good Cigar here in Little Elm. You know, the place opened about a year ago. It's a quaint little place. They've got a bar, so if you don't want to do the BYOB, you come in and have a drink, which, you know, sometimes I want to come in and, you know me, I'm a Scotch guy and a bourbon guy, and I drink my stuff straight, but occasionally I just want a mixed drink. I want a gin martini.
Okay.
Or, you know, something like that, or an old fashioned. And
But you're allowed to have one gin martini.
only
Uh-oh.
one.
Yes, honey.
After
One.
last time I had
After
Uh-oh.
last time, honey, you were only allowed to one.
Hey,
and then
listen,
you need
that's
to
what
switch to
Uber's
something
for.
else.
That's what Uber's for.
Man, we had a good time.
Oh, we had a great time.
We
Oh, my
had a-
God.
Gin martinis.
Good time. And you know what? Not everybody can. There's a lot of bartenders out there, but not everybody can make a good gin martini.
Yeah.
And not everybody can make a good old fashioned. But this old fashioned right here,
That old fashioned is good, yes.
It's very good. It's very good.
It is
but-
really good.
And look
Cheers.
forward to very, very soon
Cheers.
seeing the Cigar Lounge review.
Because you
for
were the
this
reason why
place.
I'm drinking this old fashioned.
This is good.
So let's get into the grilling here.
Okay.
All right. So how long you been smoking cigars?
About 15, 20 years. About 20 years now.
About 20 years.
Yes.
How'd you get started?
So
What was her name?
My grandfather, yeah. That make you smoke cigars. It's like, they're gonna stress you out. So
Hey, ladies, we are not bad. We don't stress
y'all
them
not
out.
that bad. No, I'm
We
not
don't
gonna
stress
say.
them out.
and-
we just require and demand a certain type of respect.
I've never had a bad relationship, so I'll
That's
put
good.
that out there right there.
That's good.
You know, I've had good learning experience.
There you go.
That's what I'll call it.
Look,
a
and
great
as-
learning
look,
experience.
as we
in
all
anything.
have.
So, but my grandfather obviously, when I was a kid, smoked pipes, and I had an uncle that, you know, from as long as I can remember, had a stick in his mouth.
Yep.
All the way up until the day he passed, and he was in his probably 80s when he passed, and he just smoked. You know, where it was just like, that's all I could remember was why. But every time he had that stick in his mouth, he was always happy.
Yep.
And I'm not saying life was great, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that he went through his challenges and things of that nature,
yeah,
but
yeah, because those things don't stop. But I bet when he was smoking, it just kind of made everything a little
he
bit
had a
easier.
smile on his
Yeah.
face every
He was
time.
doing what he loved.
And it's like, and Joe, Uncle Joe, was just he was one of those where it didn't matter. Whether he had it in there and he was a chew cigar, and he was smoking it, and you could see it, but he always had it in there, and every time you saw him, he always had a smile on his face. And so I think I was trying to figure out, why do he always have a smile on his face? What is it about that he always had a smile on his face? And really, it just took till recently that I really kind of understood that it's the stick itself.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what he smoked or whatever, but it was just the cigar itself mellowed him out so much.
And I bet you he probably smoked the same stick.
The same stick.
The stick every day.
Yeah, the
Yep.
same stick. I know, and I can't even tell you, but I remember at his funeral, the cousins, we all chipped in and bought a box of cigars. And so when it was going on, we all had cigars in our hands, and we went around and in the coffin, we all stuck cigars in there
Yes.
for him.
But this-
And
this
yeah, it was
tribute.
like, this is you.
That's a great tribute
This
to
is
your
how you
grandfather.
go and enjoy it. Hope you're smoking on the other side and things of that nature. But you were always happy with, he was just always happy. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure that out. But now I truly understand that, you know, the happy times in his life, his family and everything, but was when he was smoking cigars.
Nice.
I understand
You know?
completely.
I think that if he didn't have a cigar, because I never saw him mad or mean or anything. Not
I
saying
wish
he
I'd have
didn't-
picked this up 30 years
Yeah.
ago.
Whew,
I mean, my
what are you
God.
telling?
Yeah.
That would have probably been a difference maker in that sense, but his was an everyday. I can't say I pick up a stick every day, right?
I can't either, but you know what?
Yeah. I mean,
Could you
even though I
imagine?
smoke, but I don't pick up a stick every single day. I think the days that I mostly smoke are like on Wednesdays when we're, of course, doing our podcast, and then Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Okay.
But Mondays and Tuesdays, I kind of take the chill pill.
Mhm.
I'm at home, and weather's been so crazy. I don't want to sit on my patio and freeze to death
That-
and smoke. I
Go
can
in
go
the
in the garage,
garage.
but I'm
Yep.
still freezing.
Yep. Go in the
So
garage.
I just kind of chill out. Let my little lunch, have a little break here and there. For at least for 2 days, I gotta give him something.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even drink at home.
Well, think about this.
That's a good
Could
thing.
you imagine if I had discovered smoking cigars 30 years ago?
You'd be a fool.
How much fucking cooler I would have been?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're really not that cool right now. I'm just saying. You are cool. Ron,
Yeah, Ron's really
No,
cool.
I'm
I'm sorry,
Ron is my
Ron is
best
like
friend.
the coolest
I-
person I know.
Ron is-
I'm not
Ron is
cool,
my male
but I
bestie.
am certainly fucking chill.
Yeah. Ron is my male bestie.
I'm trying to
Hey
get
Frank. Hi Evan.
I'm trying to get more people to, into, obviously Jeff, who's watching now, was more into pipes,
Yep.
and so
Well, I'm not going to ask this question, but you know what? We're going to
Yes.
have Jeff on the show.
Yeah. Jeff, you're next.
if you watched the podcast from yesterday, you really need to have him on the show. This guy is very interesting. I thought I knew him, but then it's like, oh, I really know him now,
Yeah.
and we've always clicked well together and things of that nature, and I never really understood why, right? And yesterday I'm like,
Now you see.
I get it, I mean, he's just being himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't put on a facade when he's around me or anybody else.
He
It's
is
like,
just who he is.
that's it.
And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. He's not going to change
Yeah.
you anyway. But no one should.
Yeah.
Gin
No one should.
Martini.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he like a gin martini. Oh, Lord. Only one of them he's allowed
He's
to
asking
like.
for a
I'm only
gin
allowed one.
martini. Uh-oh.
What have you got?
Oh, Lord. This is
Wanna
going to be
see what this is like.
Honey, it's going to be a night.
Uh-oh.
Honey.
And I'd like supposed to be a special message to everybody that's watching that hopefully it'll be over by that time that it kicks in real well on it, right? Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I tell you what, anything but Tanqueray.
Yeah.
Anything but Tanqueray.
Yeah, no Tanqueray.
Tanqueray.
That's kind of harsh, though, like, for a gin martini, right?
It is.
I don't know. I've
Yeah.
never had a gin martini.
Stirred,
So
not
I
shaken.
had a regular martini, and you know what? And it probably was with Tanqueray gin. That's probably why I don't like gin.
Well,
I'm old school, gin and juice.
No gin at all.
I don't mind gin.
Snoop Dogg,
but
gin
the
and
deal
juice.
Okay,
is-
all right.
I
Well,
was
you
drinking on
you
that.
done went over to Snoop Dogg gin and
I'm
juice.
old school gin and juice.
Okay.
Well, the deal is, I never liked gin until I discovered the same thing with tequila,
Mhm.
that there are
Oh.
other gins and tequilas than cheap gins and tequilas.
Okay.
And once you
Yes.
start getting
Oh, yeah.
into some quality gins and tequilas, you realize, oh my God, this isn't acid.
Wow.
Well,
And you
yeah.
know, and I'm a big fan of Hendrix, and I've kind of joked with
Okay.
Allie, got to
Okay.
bring the Hendrix in for gin, and I did some experimentation between vodka and gin for martinis, and discovered that I liked the gin better than the vodka. And if I found a really good vodka, I could probably do it would be a closer race. But when you start out with Hendrix, and Aviation's not bad, it's not as good as Hendrix, but that's the Aviation is the one that Ryan Reynolds,
Okay.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Vicky loves Hendrix. My bestie, she
Oh, yeah.
loves. That's
Oh,
all.
yeah.
That's the only gin that she will.
And if
drink.
I'm gonna
Yeah, it's
if I'm
Hendrix.
gonna do gin and juice or gin and tonic or whatever, I'm doing Hendrix.
Yeah.
Because that is
No.
some quality stuff.
I haven't got into the gin since I've had that first martini, and I'm 100% sure
Well, the
it was
first
with
time I
Tanqueray.
had a martini was at my ex-wife's boss's house, and I had it, and all I could taste was a pine forest in my mouth. And it was some cheap gin and some mediocre. I've gone brain dead. What do you mix in a margarita?
Vermouth.
Vermouth. That was it. And some cheap vermouth. And he was trying to be impressive, and I just wasn't that impressed. But it was East Texas, and he was a redneck, so I mean, he didn't know shit.
It's free liquor.
And I can say that because she doesn't work for him anymore. But he had a hot little wife. Oh goodness. Oh, in fact,
see, this is why he don't need any gin.
Oh,
Okay,
and I ain't even
look,
got the gin
wait,
yet.
well, hold on. So we going on an old fashioned. No, wait. First, it was a beer.
Yep. Get up.
Shiner.
Shiner at that. Yes.
An old fashioned,
Which is brown.
and now his ass is switching to gin, which is clear
You don't mix the brown and the white liquors
together.
Not excessively.
Well,
Not
not,
excessive.
okay. Which is why tequila and I are not going to be friends for a long while.
Yeah. First Friday was proof of that.
Is that what you were on?
Yes.
Oh.
We're lucky she didn't.
Now
strip.
you know, Jeff. Now
She-
you know.
We're lucky she didn't strip down there.
I almost thought that was going to.
You are not.
If
This is why I be
they
chewing
would've
his
There is
ass.
there is a
This is why he gets his ass chewed by me all the freaking time.
There is
because
a-
he don't know how to keep his mouth
Do
shut.
you remember that night?
I do.
That's all I want to know. Do you remember that night?
Yes, I
No,
do.
she does
'Cause
not.
I have videos.
hey, only because
Without
she saw
the
video.
videos. Oh, that's the only reason.
No,
That's the
that's
only
not. That's
reason.
not the only reason why I remember that
So
night.
there was a popular song. Tequila makes my clothes fall off. And that's
Several
the-
popular songs.
And that's the only reason I made the comment about it. We're lucky she didn't take her clothes off. It had nothing to do with her actually gonna take her clothes off.
Yeah.
I was referencing the
Don't
music.
nobody want to see all this.
You say that.
Well, everybody was looking and they were videoing all this.
That was my
So
child.
apparently,
That was my daughter.
no.
Who else? Wait.
I'm sure there's more videos out there.
I don't, hey.
I'm sure I have some. I'm sure Jeff may have some.
Jeff, Jeff, I
Hi,
gotta
Craig.
see
Good
these
to see you,
videos.
brother.
Because Jeff got out.
Jeff,
and
were you videoing me?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm gonna leave that
I was
alone.
saving that for later.
Hey.
Hey, Ben.
Hey,
I
well,
wouldn't blame you.
Hmm.
You know how we knew you were in another level?
Oh.
No,
took
don't.
No, go ahead. No, because
All right.
you opened the can of worms, so we're gonna go down this rabbit hole. Okay, go ahead.
He took his glasses off so they were fogging up.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, they were fogging up.
Wait.
Oh my God.
His
I knew-
glasses were foggy.
I knew I was on another level my own self when Tasha was grabbing me and my daughter grabbed me. I was like, why are y'all grabbing me? Get off of me. It
You
was
ha-
a great night.
You have to come out
Yeah,
to some of those
You
nights
have
to
to come out. You have
understand.
to
a great
understand.
time.
You have
Yeah.
to come
If
out
you have
to
not been to
understand.
Yeah.
Industrial Cigar
Hey.
Company First Friday,
Yes.
you need to
If
treat
you-
yourself.
If
Yes.
you open up the dance floor,
And I
I'm gonna
say
be
that
on it.
honestly, it's not just a you need to show up. You need to treat yourself because
Yes,
it
you
is
do.
a phenomenal
You do.
time every time. The music's great, the people are hilarious, and we just have a great time with each other. And you know
That
it's-
was trivia night.
Yes,
oh,
it was
trivia.
That
was
wasn't
trivia.
like anything
No.
else, but that was
It's
trivia
trivia.
night.
We did the family
We
thing,
did trivia,
and
and then
we
we
did
blew
the
the
adult
shit
thing
up.
earlier in the
Yes.
day, earlier in the evening.
I was afraid we was gonna burn the place down.
We did that earlier in the
We-
evening,
yes.
and then after that, it just had the music
Busy
came
started
on.
playing, and the
Yeah, it
next
just
thing
got
you
a
know-
little, hey.
So you were
Hey,
drinking
good to
doing
see you
trivia,
online, man.
Oh
right?
yes, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, I mean,
She was drinking doing trivia, so
Yes.
that's what happened. Man.
yes.
Likely story.
Likely story,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was drinking Crown Peach.
You were drinking the count. Okay, that's it.
But you
What'd
know
you
what?
mix? Did you mix any of the brown and the white liquor together?
Yes, but part of that was your fault too.
How was that
Yeah.
my fault?
How was that your fault?
Yes.
Because you brought out the damn Jameson.
You didn't. No, you didn't bring out the Jameson.
Yes, you did. You sit back there and you just hush up for a second because you were not there when all this was going down. So.
Oh my God.
Is that Craig Whitten on there, or is there another Craig?
No, that's
Greg Reed.
Okay, cool. Because Craig Whitten,
I'm sorry.
we were talking.
Hey,
Garrett Reed, Craig Whitten. Yeah, Craig Whitten.
Okay, Craig. When we was talking Sunday, so now you know what happened to the bottle of Jameson.
Hey, yes.
Because Craig actually brought the bottle of Jameson, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna put this in the locker, and it'll be here when you get here.
Well, you brought it out. And that is totally, Craig, it's his fault, honey. Because I was talking about the Jameson IPA that he needed to try, and which is also phenomenal. So he brings out the Jameson. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give me some of that. Hold on, let me finish this Crown Peach. So he brought the Jameson out, and I might have had a couple glasses.
So
of
you're incriminating me that I actually added to
Yes, you did.
Ron's fun evening.
Yes, I absolutely.
Hey.
I was jealous of Ron. I was so jealous.
Absolutely.
You are quite welcome.
Thank you, bro.
Yes. That was
Absolutely, I am incriminating you.
No.
It is partly your fault too. Look,
My
let's
fault.
not make it like, it was my fault, because it was not. It was your fault,
You turned it up.
my daughter's fault, and Tasha's fault.
And I'll tell
I'm
you.
blaming everybody.
But let me tell you
No,
one
no,
thing.
no.
No, wait. I'll tell you one thing. You know whose fault it wasn't?
Yours.
But I got all the benefits.
You reaped the benefits
I reaped
majorly
the
that night.
benefits
Yes,
of
you
that
did.
night.
Yes, you
Oh
did.
my God.
Yes. Yeah, the whole place
Well-
jealous in there.
How about this? You're welcome.
Thank
Oh.
you very, very much. Hey.
I'm sure he said
Hey.
thank you, but you just don't remember it.
Hey. I love you.
Yeah, it's better.
Hey, and I love you.
I love you too, man.
Man,
Yeah, it's better.
you know, and that is the cool thing that we have that just a lot of other people are not getting and missing out on is the family and the community that is built just from this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, and I have joked. I say I have joked, but to be honest, there are most holidays that I would rather spend at the cigar lounge than with my regular family.
I'm
because
with you with that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
so much
absolutely.
less drama, and I have such a much greater time.
Yeah.
It's so much more relaxing,
Yeah.
and you know,
That's because the people at the lounge they're like your family. You're your brothers and sisters.
They are.
Your fathers, your mothers, your cousins, your aunts.
and
Yeah.
what?
Everything,
And there's
you know?
there's-
they're just part
there's
of
so
you
many
and your
people
family.
there that there's nothing we wouldn't do for each other.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
and that's something that is missing in the world today.
Well, so let me just take you back to last Sunday. Right.
Mike,
Okay.
yes.
So AJ has some really good friends. He has a couple really good friends that
Craig.
showed up on Sunday.
Yep.
Craig
Jeff.
was one of them.
Jeff.
And what was the other guy's name?
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
Peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler.
So y'all, we had some peach cobbler last Sunday
With sweet cheese.
with Swiss cheese
With Swiss cheese.
and ice cream.
And I am so sorry.
Vanilla
ice
bean ice cream.
Right. So people like that, like he didn't have to go out of his way to bring that in. That was a big pan of.
Oh, it was a huge
It
pan.
was huge.
But
I
you
mean,
know
there was
what?
so much, but that's the thing that you get in the lounge like that. Like people just bring stuff. Like you know, you talk about something and people are like, I don't know, but I don't know about that combination. You know, I don't know about that combination. Oh, okay, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. Let me go ahead and bring some in, and that's what he did.
Mike was talking about when he was coming up with his grandmother.
Yeah.
And she would always, and they made at that time, and Mike's 74 years old, right? But doesn't look it.
No.
Doesn't
No.
act it or anything
And we
else.
share the same birthday. Did you know that?
Yes, I found that out Sunday.
Yes, we share the same birthday.
Amazing. But what ended up happening was, as a kid, they would churn the ice cream, right?
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
so
that.
you get the churn ice cream. So his grandmother
Before the electric,
yes,
Yes.
you would
Yes.
actually
Yes.
turn.
The-
I have
the
done
ice
more than
cream.
my share
Yeah.
because I wanted the fucking ice cream.
Yes. And his grandmother, what she did was, she gave him peach cobbler. They put a slice of Swiss cheese on there, melted, and then like he said, always go to the bottom and get the last of the ice cream because that's where all the salt and everything is, and put that on there. And so we were ragging him about that is not going to taste well. There is no way in the world that you're going to put a piece of cheese on there.
And I have heard of that, but I had never tried it.
Oh my God.
And I still haven't tried it. But you know what? What we need to do, and I haven't done it in a long time, but occasionally we would do potlucks at Industrial.
Yeah, at Industrial.
And we need to do another potluck. And I'll bring some Pittsburgh hot links, and I'll bring my banana pudding.
Pittsburgh.
And we can get the peach cobbler and
You can bring whatever.
and bring whatever.
I can
and
cook.
just have
Okay,
a
see,
good.
I can
good
too, but
time.
I don't know
I
about
can
it.
cook.
Hey,
So,
you and I
what do
need
y'all
to-
want?
What you and I need to
I'll
swap
bring a whole
recipes,
bunch of
man.
smothered pork chops up there, whatever. Tell me what y'all want. Oh, I can cook.
Okay, I want some smothered pork chops.
My mom wanted a little girl, and she ended up getting a boy. But then she also taught me, she was like, I don't want you dependent on anybody for anything.
Absolutely.
It's kind of intimidating sometimes with women, like, you know, they're in that mood of, well, you don't really need a woman for anything. No, there's a difference. What my mom was doing was when she taught me how to cook and clean and wash and do everything for myself, that way I could coexist with somebody
Right.
versus some people that can't
Right.
do
Can't do
anything,
anything.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And then now you're mad at the world because this woman didn't cook you dinner when you got home, or she didn't wash for you, or she didn't do
I'll
this.
tell you what, when I'm at work, I turn on YouTube and I put on people reading Reddit threads, just for noise in the background, so that I can work. It's either that or music. But you would be surprised how many times I run across a Reddit thread where a guy is just a complete dick, and the woman is trying to do her best, do some cooking, and he wants to give her a hard time because he doesn't like whatever. And I'm like, dude, cook your own shit if you don't like it.
That's true.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
And thank God, you know.
There's a lot of men out there
Knock
like
on
that
wood.
that can't be independent.
Yep. And I learned
Well,
young.
and not just men, but there's a lot of women out there that are
There's
the
a lot of
same,
women
that
out
are the
there like
same
that, too.
because although, you know, they were raised with both parents, their mom cooking, they just didn't want to learn. They just
Yeah.
didn't want to learn.
Yeah, I was forced to. My
Yeah,
mom
I
was
was
always
forced
one of those things, if you're going to live in this house,
Yeah, if you're gonna learn how to cook,
You're gonna learn how to do it.
cook,
Yes.
clean, wash your clothes. Yeah, my mama too. She
and
wasn't playing.
clean. And she'd come back around with that little white glove, and she didn't have a white glove, but she could, no, you got to do this
Do
over.
it over again.
You got to do this right.
And I tell you what, so many people, especially cleaning up after themselves, want to do it half-assed and just expect that to be okay.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts. And I hate to do this, but I'm going to call out my son. Every time I asked him to do something, everything was just half-assed. And I don't know whether he was trying to be just incompetent so he didn't have to do it again,
Yeah.
or whether he just didn't care. And I just did not.
I mean, you just don't know. I mean,
I think sometimes he was going to be more of a move out of the way. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Let me show you how to actually do it, and
Exactly,
then
and
get
then-
somebody else to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, honey, I had to do that shit myself. My mama worked. She worked, single parent, raising 2 kids.
Yes.
Someone had to start the
Yes,
dinner.
yes.
I had to start that dinner, do the laundry.
You know what I
Very
learned
quickly.
about that? When I got into my teens, right?
Yep.
And when you come up with everything, I grew up in the projects. Projects obviously is like what studios are now. You had upstairs and things. That's where your bedrooms were. And so I learned in the teens that when my mom would come in from work, she would go upstairs. The only reason she had to come back down was for food or whatever else it may be.
Yeah.
So to always have dinner done. Because I knew once she went upstairs, she was good. Downstairs is mine. I got my buddies in. I could do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That was my domain down
Right.
there, and I learned it. But it became a great skill set for me
Right.
to truly sit back, and when I got into relationships and things of that nature, is I'm not dependent on you
Exactly.
to do something.
Right.
Because you're kind of going through the same things that I'm going through.
Yeah.
Right? Is that if you're going out to work every day, you'll probably come home tired too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
I don't feel like doing this. It's not a problem. And that's what I'm trying to get is that a lot of people don't see that. Okay, she doesn't want to do anything, that's cool.
And I may be a horrible horrible guy, but you know, I don't wash my dishes every day. Sometimes they sit in the sink till the next day. You know,
I had that happen too.
You know,
Yes.
I cook something, I put everything in the sink, and I decide I'm just not going to wash that today. I'll wash it tomorrow, or maybe the day after. But I make sure that it gets done, everything's cleaned up, and you know, and I don't expect anybody else to do anything otherwise.
Right.
You know, because you get busy, you get tired, or you just get distracted. You go, you know what? The dishes will sit for another day,
and that's okay.
I'm not gonna. But you know what? I
don't do that.
I joked with my dad today.
I clean. Look, when I'm cooking, I clean as I go.
That's what I do.
I do for the most part as well.
But my granny taught me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was in the 5th grade, my grandmother would come down every year to pick me up, and we would fly back to Biloxi, Mississippi.
Okay.
So I spent all my summers in the South with my granny. So she's the one that actually taught me how to cook. So then, when school time came to start school again, she would fly back home with me to California, and she would stay a week. Help me get off to school, help my mom, and then off she went. And then I picked it up from there. So my mom went to work, I got out of school, me and my brother would walk home together, and I'd start cooking. She would lay the meat out, whatever she wanted for dinner, whatever she wanted us to eat for dinner that day. She laid the food out, and I would cook it. So by the time she came home, dinner was halfway done.
Oh, wow.
We know,
I learned at an early age how to cook. Granny didn't play. She said, I'm gonna teach you how to cook.
Yeah.
And like I said, and for the most part, I clean up my dishes as I go. And you know, I may have 1 or 2 pans that I was using at the very last minute. I decide I don't clean till the next day. But you know, I'm the same way. Especially if I'm cooking a lot of stuff, I'm washing as I go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this to finish over here. I'm doing some dishes and that type of thing. But you know,
Hey,
so
Daddy.
so many people nowadays just can't do that. I don't understand.
I think the only thing that I do on a regular every day is I make my bed up. All right? And one of my
should do that
mentors
myself.
taught me that is
Yeah.
I make the bed up. So if I went out to work and I've had such a crappy day, at least I know when I come back that my bed is made up, and so it's not one other thing that I have to do.
Exactly.
I leave mine and just crawl back in. Now, but you know, I was joking with my dad today. I called him to check on him today, and I told him, I said, you know, at my next paycheck, I'm going to buy me one of those little robot sweeper things.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Because my dog, the first thing he does when I take him outside to go do his business is he runs around, he does his business, and then he rolls in the grass. And as much as I shake him off, he comes back into the house, and I've got grass everywhere. And then I've got little tufts of fur. And if I didn't sweep every day, sometimes twice a day, there would be just grass everywhere. And I'm like, I'm not doing that every damn day. I'll do that a couple times a week, but I'm not doing it every day. So I'm getting me one of those little robot sweepers because I can't keep up with that little motherfucker.
Right.
And you know my buddies.
Oh, we know Puck, honey. Puck little ass, honey. Puck little ass. He's a runner.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
And a rock star.
to change the subject just a minute. So let's just talk about the things that relax us. I mean, we know that smoking, having a nice stick, around
Great people.
great people.
A drink.
Yes, a drink is
Not
very
drinking.
relaxing. It's very relaxing for us. The thing that I like to do when I want to relax and just kind of de-stress or just clear my mind is craft. I'm a crafter by nature. Like, I just love it. If I see something in the store that I want, if I don't want to buy it, I can just make that myself. I can just see it and make it. It's just something that I do. And I just do it for myself because it just makes me feel good. It just takes the stress off of me. And I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about anything. So what is something that you do? And you've shared something with me, and I thought that was very, very, very interesting, and I just loved it. And I think we should just talk about that and share it with the world because I just think it's amazing.
You know Ed Faulkner?
What did you say?
Faulkner. Yes. Hey, what's up, Ed?
Hey, Ed.
He drops off Ed. He goes to the shop up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ed.
He said tell you hi.
Hello, Ed. How
Hey,
you doing,
Ed.
sir?
Welcome.
He actually drops off the N-E-R because my last name is Falk. And
Debbie,
Hi,
so-
Wesley.
Debbie Sims is also on as well.
Wesley,
Debbie.
I've already said hi.
Wesley
to Debbie.
Tabernacle.
Hi, Wesley.
Tackenberg. Wesley Tackenberg.
Yes.
Probably know them all.
Yes.
By the way, Scott says hi.
Hi, Scott.
Scott, we will be seeing you at Big Smoke.
We'll be seeing you. Oh, and I'll be there in September on my annual
Big Smoke?
Vegas
Big
trip.
Smoke?
Big Smoke. Yes.
You mind if he comes?
Absolutely not.
Ooh.
More the merrier.
Well,
We'll talk about this.
Now,
We'll talk about
now,
this.
be mindful. We may be all sharing the same bed.
Bed,
Listen
floor.
here, y'all. Wait, hold up.
If I start telling my age and everything, that was one of those things where in my room I had 2 twin beds when I was growing up,
You and me both.
but I had a ton of cousins, and when they come over,
So one of them got
you
to
gonna get a
that.
foot stuck up your nose when you wake up in the morning, and yeah.
I'm just gonna put this out there right now. I ain't sharing no bed with nobody.
We see
I'm
Put
not
that
even
out
sharing-
there.
I'm not even sharing a room with nobody.
You've heard that first, live here.
Now wait a minute.
Anyway,
Nobody.
So now
anyway,
let's
So-
let's
you ain't
pivot.
gonna ruin my fun.
Let's pivot again. What was the first cigar you ever smoked?
Probably like everybody, and I can't really call it a cigar, which was a Black and Mild,
All right.
right? We're
Yeah.
young.
We didn't know any better.
We definitely didn't know any better, right? Black and Milds are not cigars. I'm telling y'all that now.
What?
They're
They are not.
They're not cigars. No.
Absolutely
That's-
not.
Now, do you
That's
remember
your
which-
young trying to be cool
Right.
with that.
Right.
And then I went from there to the little small Al Capones. I think
Okay.
you got about 5 of them in the little box, and I thought those were cool.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be cool with them, and so that was the Black and Milds, and because I never liked cigarettes. I can't do cigarettes.
All right. Well, now that you shared that story with us, we're gonna pivot right back to the conversation that we was having about what do you do to relax you and when to not put your stress.
She
That's
set
right.
this up, by the way.
She did set this up. I don't know. It may be. But my biggest thing that I do to relax is I've gotten into here a little over a year now. I've started rolling my own cigars. And so if you've never rolled cigars, you truly don't understand how therapeutic, how relaxing it is, how you
And
can
if
just
you've got
be in
ADD,
oh my God.
oh my God, I can imagine just how therapeutic that is.
It's so I have my
You and I got to talk later.
yes.
We're interrupting him. Let him
Go
get
ahead,
to
go
the. Let
ahead.
him finish. Because this is interesting.
So the
Go ahead,
way
baby.
the way my place is set up, I kind of got it all Siri, I have a home pod, all this stuff. When I pull into the garage, music starts playing, which is typically smooth jazz or whatever, and basically my home is telling me when I walk through the door, I don't care what kind of day you had, don't bring that crap in here.
Exactly. Don't bring that energy.
So
up
the
in here.
atmosphere is already set, right? And that's how I look at cigar lounges too, right? You walk in that door, might have had a crappy day, but the atmosphere is going to change for
Yeah.
you to where it's going to get you down into being into a better mood.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of got into the rolling of cigars, and I had thought about it over time, and was with Nina at the time, and so she kept pushing me. Hey, let's just do this. I bought a little starter kit, and I got the starter kit, and I probably messed up more cigars than I think I could ever imagine.
Starter kit?
There's a starter kit. If you
There's
go to
a starter kit?
there's a
for
starter
cigar
kit.
roller?
Yeah.
Yes. Leaf
Holy
only.
shit.
They'll give you a little mold. They'll give you some glue. They'll give you binder. They'll give you wrapper. They'll give you filler.
Filler, yeah.
And which most people, if they don't know cigars, that's kind of the what cigars are made of.
Right.
Yep.
And obviously the wrapper, what you're seeing right now, is just making it look pretty. That's it. That's the dress.
Right.
But got into it, thought it was real cool, watched a ton of cigar videos on YouTube. That's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to learn how to roll, I'm going to do this. And I started doing it, and I found myself getting into a mood of relaxation that I never knew existed, which is amazing. You know, some people we find things, and mind you, I go to the gun range, and you know, I could probably hit the blind side of a barn, spin it through a tornado because I just practiced so much. But cigar rolling is totally different. It's just something
It's a whole nother level.
Well, and we've talked on many occasions about what an art form that is.
It is.
And you know, whether you're painting or sculpting, cigar rolling is in that realm.
Mm-hmm. It's just like painting.
Yes.
Exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're painting that cigar.
You are basically.
You are painting that cigar.
When they made the cigar, they went through this whole process of a blending test, and you go on YouTube, you're not going to find any of that stuff.
Right.
So I didn't know what a blending session was,
Right.
you know. And then I sat with Dave one day, and he's like, "You've done a blending test?" I'm like, "What's a blending test?" My blend was always roll all of this stuff,
Right.
let it sit and age, and then smoke it to see if I like it.
Right.
And they're like, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one's kind of good. Okay, I'll make more of these and things of that nature. But when I started going through the blending test of rolling each stick, each leaf, basically, and smoking that leaf, and it's like you smoke a leaf, and it's like, okay, what's it doing? It's hitting the top of my mouth and my palate. All right, well, smoke this one. Well, this one's kind of hitting the sides. All right, smoke them together. And then they even out. And then it's like, I don't feel a burn. And then it's like, okay, add this. Now what do you want to do on this end? And that journey has just kind of taken me into really just where smoking cigars calm me down.
Right.
Rolling cigars really puts me in a whole nother level of shit don't matter.
Exactly.
Excuse my French, but
No.
it really doesn't
It
matter
really
anymore.
doesn't matter when you're on that. When you're doing something that really, really relaxes you. It can't do anything else but put you on a whole nother level.
I think that I am in a different realm because of rolling cigars, as far as who I am as a person,
Right.
which is a big thing, because I never knew the joy of what that was like.
Right.
I just come in, I get a stick, I like that stick, I'm trying to learn everything about that stick, but then I never knew the journey of why did they make that?
Right.
You know, that where it was going to be enjoyable to me. So when I started rolling, I'm like, and I'm getting my leaf, obviously Dominican and Nicaraguan is
Right.
basically it, and I've mixed in some other stuff off in there, you know, but mainly the Nicaraguan I love. Dominican, I've got some great stuff that I've come in and got some, you know, some blends. There's just one that I just love.
Well, do you know who else you can talk to about getting some additional leads? Edgar Boyle.
Right. And you know what?
Yeah.
And that's
I wish
Mexican
you were
San
around.
Andreas.
I really wish you were
One of my
around at the
favorites.
time when Industrial had Edgar come in and we all did, like, we got to blend our own stuff.
Okay.
That would have been an amazing night for you
Yeah.
to experience that.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate to be part of that. I think I was the only other female in there.
Yeah.
There was two, and one was with her man at the time, so she really wasn't rolling. So basically, I think I was the only female in there. But it was fun. Now, did I know what I was doing? Absolutely not. Are my sticks good? I don't know. They've been sitting in my locker for over damn near maybe a year now.
Okay.
Will I try it to test it? Yeah, I will. But I had such a great experience doing that it was like, wow, I just blended my own cigar.
Wow.
And it may not taste the best.
I wish more women would get into that.
But I had so much fun just experiencing it and doing it and making, because I think I got to do four cigars. Like it was like 4 different blends that you can make on the paper. And so with different wrappers and stuff, it was just an amazing experience to me as a female to do that, because I wanted to do that. That was like something that was like, well, let me just try making my own cigar. Like I said, is it the best? Probably not. But did I have a great time in learning?
Yeah.
I absolutely freaking
Absolutely.
The only
It was
thing
a
I
great
probably
time.
would have did differently, I probably would have kept, if I'd have found the blend that I like,
did.
I probably would have kept that same blend, and just change the wrappers.
And a lot of people were doing that,
Yeah.
which was fine. And like, I tried several different people's cigars that they rolled, and they're all great, and they're good. But what I do want to say is like, when you gave me that cigar of yours, what was it, two Sundays ago? That was a really good stick. That was a really good cigar.
Thank you.
I mean, that was a nice, smooth blend. It was, and
jealous
it burned
now.
evenly. It burned nice. It was great. I enjoyed it.
I will get you one before we leave.
No, you don't have to. But I do want you to hook me up. You and I need to sit down and do a video of just us rolling cigars.
Okay.
And you teaching me how to roll a cigar.
Oh, well, that would be nice for you guys to learn that, for you to see that. Do
So
that.
some of the events that we've had here recently at Industrial have been with you're not there with brand reps or whatever.
No.
You're there with brand owners.
Yeah.
Right.
You're actually there with as far as the top that you can get. You're there. All right.
And you were there for Pablo. Oh my God.
Pablo is yes. Pablo is amazing.
And you're gonna be there for
Hey,
next
Jackie.
week
Yes. Yes.
Darren.
For Darren, yes.
And you get some of the best blenders / company owners, and you learn so much.
I said
and
with-
Luciano. Oh my God.
Luciano's a good friend. I
He's
can
a
say
very,
that.
he's a very,
He is
very
amazing.
nice man. Very humble.
Nelson Alfonso.
Yes.
I mean, we can go down the list, but
Yes.
we meet such great people. And the cool thing is, and Chris and I used to joke about this all the time, because you start looking at these cigar company owners and stuff, and they are interacting with each other. They consider themselves family, and while the community is kind of small, they are still just sharing with each other,
Right.
because they love and they have a passion for the product and the cigars and for each other. And really, if you're secretive and squirrely about your information,
Yeah.
you're probably not producing anything that good anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
But thank you, AJ, for sharing that with us.
Of course.
I mean, I just thought it was very fascinating that, good night, baby girl, that you did that. Like, that's one of the things that just calms you
It
and
does.
just relaxes you.
But my mind's all over the place now, right? Because obviously, I think I saw Luciano 2 times within a 3-week period, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm in the Twilight Zone, right?
Right.
And
I mean,
so,
to see this man twice
and for those out there that don't know, Luciano is
Do your research,
He's-
check him
Please.
out, and if you ever get a chance
Yeah.
to meet
He's
him,
an amazing man.
And I can truly say, and I say it to Ron all the time, I love that man.
Yep.
I really do. And it's him, not his brand.
It's him.
The person who he is
Makes it
so amazing.
Yeah, he's just he's so humble. Like, even when he was sitting there talking to us, like, him and I had our own conversation
Yes.
about that. Like, we're just having our own down to earth conversation.
But then he comes in and we're all running around like, Luciano's here. Luciano's here. And it's like,
And he's
what?
just so
What?
cool.
And he's just so cool. But he messed my mind up here the last time I saw him. And I was telling him, I was like, I got this much leaf. And he goes, you got 1,000 different varieties that you can do.
Who does that? Who tells you that? You know
What?
what I mean?
What?
Because he's not
But you know what?
selfish with his knowledge.
now what's funny is, you will remember this. You may remember this. Remember the old Bugs Bunny cartoon when he's supposedly the orchestra director?
Yep.
And he walks in, Leopold's here, Leopold's here, Leopold's here, Leopold's here. That's the same thing we do with Luciano.
That's exactly
and with,
how we
that's-
do
with
it.
that's what we
Pablo
do.
Yes.
and Darren.
Yes.
Darren's here. Darren's here.
Yes.
My girl Jackie's on from Cali. Hey, my Cali sister.
Lavanda's
That-
also on.
Lavonda, that's my second.
Jackie
That's like my
Williams.
second mama.
Raven
Yes.
Lane. We got a good audience.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So Darren taught me some things about how to do my blends, right?
Yeah.
Luciano taught me of how he actually rolls his filler. And
Oh, yeah, that was
the big
amazing.
thing.
Let me tell you one that I gotta give a big shout out to. My boy Howard is in town.
What's up, Howard?
And he is here, sitting back there, waiting
What's
for me
up,
to
Howard?
finish so we can go and have a good time smoking.
That's what's up. That's what's
So
up.
big shout out to my boy Howard for coming in from Utah
Welcome,
to
Howard.
hang out
Yes.
with one of his favorites.
Jeff was in Utah not too long ago. He worked out there with the company that we're with, and I'm glad to have him back. I hated for him to go, and then now he's back.
Well, welcome back, Jeff.
I'm like
I see you on
capturing all
first.
of that.
I see you on First Friday.
You made
No,
such an impression of him on First Friday. He's just like,
Jeff, you need to
Jeff.
make sure you're here next Friday at Industrial.
he already got tickets.
Yeah, he's
okay.
good.
I haven't even told him yet, but I guess I might well tell him. So they also have an event on the 7th that I got tickets for, and I haven't even told him about it. I just went ahead and got the tickets. That's actually the first Friday. The
Yes.
I think next week is the 31st is the
Yeah, I
unveiling.
think we're gonna.
Yep.
Yeah,
And so I got tickets for that.
Well,
I'm
you know,
like,
I got-
okay,
you know,
you're gonna have to come. I don't care.
You coming?
If you got something to do, you better
gotta
go
book-
ahead and change your schedule.
Good.
Yeah.
Put it on hold.
My-
Reschedule,
my
Jeff.
office-
Reschedule.
My office is doing a dinner that night for my group, and we're going to meet at a nice place, have good dinner, and they're going to pay for everything. I'm cutting out.
You
I'll
should.
Be there, I'll be there an hour and a half, then I'm cutting the fuck out and headed to Industrial, because I'm not missing Darren and I'm not missing the grand opening or the grand reveal.
You know, I can
There you
make
go.
those phone calls for a family emergency that, and
Baby.
I don't need it.
for an extra
Okay,
$2, I can do extra
He said
crying and
$2.
everything.
I
I
don't
cry on the phone and everything.
Look, I'll bring you a bottle of Jameson IPA,
They know-
baby. That's,
My
I mean,
office knows how
wait,
I am.
Hold on.
Don't say Jameson. I'm sorry, Craig. I'm sorry,
wait,
Craig.
I was getting ready to
I'm
say,
sorry.
Craig.
I'm sorry,
Craig, I owe you a bottle.
Craig and them. I'm sorry.
But you're going to get an IPA, though. You're going to try this Jameson IPA. That's what you're going to get.
He would love it. I'm
Okay.
sure. They came back. They enjoy when we get together because again,
Yeah.
the camaraderie of sitting and meeting with people is like the biggest thing. Because people will sit here and look at us right now and say they've known each other for forever. And we
Actually,
haven't.
and we haven't.
Well, we haven't. But you can't. You don't know that.
No.
No. But
You
we
don't
act
know.
like it. We act like it.
We act like it, and nobody better mess with y'all.
Bet
Nobody
not.
better not do this.
Hold up.
I always know that I'm always looking out for, your best interests. I hope that,
Yeah.
when we leave places that we made it to our destination
Yeah.
safe. We always look for it, and at the end of the day, this is what started it.
Exactly.
Not this particular cigar, but the cigar in general
let's
is what
pivot to
started
that.
it.
Let's pivot to that. What is your favorite cigar? And you're having a special event, and you want a cigar. What do you go to?
Oh,
And don't
okay.
say Gurkha.
Oh man!
We weren't-
Anybody
we-
smoking Gurkha, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna say,
Okay.
come see us.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
Let
they
us
don't know.
educate you on these things.
They don't know.
No matter what you're smoking, come see us. We'll kind of educate you on what you really need to be looking for. But,
Hey, Brittany, my sister's on from Portland.
hey, Brittany, I would say that my favorite, and I haven't talked to Dave and them about it because they brought these in later, was always the Liga number 9. Right? That
Yeah.
was always, but the original recipe.
The original, because
not what they have now.
Now, right? The original recipe is
Yeah.
But that new stuff, I don't know about that new
It's
stuff. I can't-
okay,
it's
but
okay,
it's not it.
but it's not. It is not the Illegal.
And the T52, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
obviously the strongest that they have is the UF13. But that 9 was like my first
That
one
was
that
a
I
go-to.
just loved it, right?
Yeah, that was my best.
And then obviously we Dave done brought them in, and I'm like, all right, they're here now, but I love the Grand Habano.
Now that's sick.
That 20th anniversary.
When that sick, when they brought that in, I don't remember who. I think it was Ted that turned me on to that stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say Ted because every time I would be like, what's new? Show me, give me something different that I haven't smoked. I mean, because we all know what my locker looks like. So,
Your locker is, yeah.
ridiculous.
Very much so.
Ridiculous.
Very much.
I don't need another stick in life.
You do
Really,
not.
I do
But
not. But
You're gonna
but
get it.
he turned me on to that, and I literally had to go buy 2 more.
I heard Dave talking about it on one of their podcasts. And
That's
so I
what
was like,
smoking
okay, I gotta
yesterday.
try it. You
That's
know?
what Craig. I got that Grand Habano again because Craig was smoking. And I was like, Craig, what you smoking? He was like, he showed it. I was like, oh, you're smoking that Grand Habano. So I had to go back in and get it. And then your other friend that came down, he lives in Mansfield, I think.
George.
He gave him one.
Yes, Craig gave George one,
and he likes it too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's like, and that's another thing. Is like when we find something that we like,
Yeah.
we're not shy about sharing
Yes.
our other stick if we got 1 or 2 extras, right? We'll just, hey, no, put that down.
Yes.
Try this.
Yeah. I think I would, if anybody was their first time smoking or whatever it may be, and I know they always say, what kind of coffee do you drink, right?
Right.
And that kind of gives you an idea of what your
Right.
palate is. And if you take cream in it, and you like something smooth. But I think that I could give somebody that Grand Habano and it would be great to them. Because it's just a phenomenal cigar.
How could it not be great to him? I mean,
Right.
I literally smoked that thing to the damn nub.
Yes. My fingers are
Hey,
burning off of it.
I
And
had
I'm
to take
like,
out my cigar poker for that. Because I was like, then my lips got hot. And I was like, ooh, Lord, you gonna burn off the crackle on my lips. Okay, I'm done now.
but I think like when we go back to this right now, and I say that on my cigars, there's a cigar that I had, and I always said that I felt like if God made a cigar, this was it, and that's that Alfonso.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah.
That Alfonso number 5, I think I had.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I've smoked a couple of those. And I'll tell you
Oh
what, they're
my God. That is a cigar that I've sit back and said, if I had to give a cigar to God, that would be the cigar I would give to him to say,
because Nelson does
Smoke
not
this.
fuck around.
he does not.
Nah.
And it's hard to keep those in.
Yeah.
Well,
And what's yours, Ron? What's yours favorite?
I'm a Byron guy, to be honest.
Okay,
No, I'm
okay.
an Atabay girl.
I love the Byron. I
Atabay,
love the
okay.
Alfonso.
I'm an Atabay, and that's
but-
Dave's fault. He
but-
ruined me.
You know,
So-
Okay, so prime example on that, right? Byron. Nina at the time ended up having, she got a Byron and she wasn't impressed by it.
Well, they're not for everybody.
you got ready for it.
Yeah, and she probably was. Her palate was probably not ready for that particular type of a cigar.
Okay.
Which means
So-
she needed to probably go with the regular Atabay, which is a softer,
A so-
smoother,
yep.
Okay.
creamier cigar.
Exactly. That might have been too
And-
much for her at one time.
Yep. And you know, and that's the other deal with the Byron
Mhm.
is it's more of a medium smoke compared to the Atabay, and that's why I like it more because I'm not much. I drink my coffee black, and
Yeah.
I'm not much of a softer cigar smoker. And I love the Atabay, but if I got my choice between the two, I'm going with Byron because it's got a little more strength, a little more flavor than the Atabay.
Well, okay, so hold on. Let's not count out the bandoleros.
Oh, the Bandoleros are
The bandoleros
hands
is a
down.
phenomenal stick. Hands
Yes,
down.
that is a
So
great
my
stick.
go-to is going to be, if I'm going to go in order, I'm going to go with an Atabay, and then I'm going to go with the bandolero because
Okay.
that has been one of my favorite cigars as
Okay.
well.
Yes, I
And
would
then
agree.
I'll go with the Byron. But the all-time cigar, the cigar for me, and I will always get it, is
Crux,
that Crux
Bull and
Bull and
Bear.
Bear. Nathan loves the Crux Bull and Bear. He like smokes them like crazy. They can't really keep them on the shelf.
Well, you know, and the
However,
deal-
when I get in there and I go get me, I'm always gonna come out of that
Yeah.
with a Bull and Bear.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
That's
And
always
can't
gonna
go
be
wrong.
in my
They're a
rotation.
great
That will
quality
always stay
stick.
in my rotation.
It's a great quality stick at a reasonable price
Yes.
and not hard to smoke every day and not break the bank.
Yes.
I can't smoke Atabay and Byrons on a regular basis because they're a little pricey.
They are.
But you've got the Bandolero and they're solid as a rock, but then if you want to step up, you go with the Byron and the Atabay, you know? And-
Absolutely.
And,
I will agree.
and another one that is that way is the Aviation Series from Principal.
Personal,
Yes,
yes.
that's
You know,
That's
and I'm a big
excellent.
fan of that Cochon Volant, and when he does the night flights, I mean, we just pick them off the shelf left and right until they're gone. But, you know, there's so many quality cigars out there there's no reason to smoke crap.
Right.
You know.
Well, another good cigar is, and they don't have it at Industrial, but they do have it here at the Good Cigar. And I like to smoke when I come in here. It's called Unkind. It's by the Blackbird. It's called Unkind.
Unkind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a really good stick too.
And she likes it because it's got a purple band on it too.
Well, that is one of the reasons, yes. But it's also
You
a
know
great
how
cigar.
she is about the purple.
Prince,
No, look at her hair and her lipstick.
you love, but how did you get into purple? Prince,
No, actually not.
Purple Rain.
No, I did not. I
You
did
don't
not.
know subconsciously that Prince actually did.
I
Purple Rain.
know.
Okay, I just want to let you know.
But it was
So-
not why I loved purple.
Okay. it's
Initially, my actual favorite color is black because I'm always freaking black.
Oh, yeah.
But I do love
Okay,
purple.
that's
Purple
racist.
is one of my favorites, and it is the favorite.
Jeff is a phenomenal guitar player. He's obviously in a band.
Nice.
And I can play guitar one song,
What song is that?
Purple Rain.
Purple.
Oh,
That's the only song I can play.
we should have
Purple
known.
Rain.
We should have known.
That's it. I don't.
Well,
Purple Rain. That's it.
well, we're gonna leave you guys on that note because we're almost out of time. Actually, we are out of time, and we just want to thank all of you for joining in on our show tonight.
And I hope you had a
Thank
great
you,
time.
AJ.
And hope you,
AKA
if you learned something great, if you didn't, I just hope you were entertained.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you.
Thank you
having
for
me on.
coming and hanging out with us
Yes.
and listening to our craziness sometimes. But you know, me getting on wrong. You know, I went a little light on today.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I went a little light on today.
This ain't the first Friday, so I get it.
Shit. Right. It's not a first Friday. It's a Wednesday.
This ain't even first Wednesday, so go
Right,
figure.
it's not.
No. But it is a Wednesday, and we have a great time every time we're here.
Yes.
And with our guests and with Rhonda. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. And if you learned something great, remember to like, share, join, follow, whatever platform you're on, do it and keep us going. And as you know, we don't make any money off this. We're just doing it because we're having a good time.
We just have a good time doing it.
Yep. You guys have a great week. We will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.